This is chapter 8, confidence interval. Make sure that you've downloaded the correct file and the data is the same one like before. Make sure that you name the columns of the data like we have done before. And I have already done that. So we have the names of each column associated with the data. Okay, now confidence interval is about a population mean that is unknown to us, and we have a random variable, and from that population for which we have data. So from the sample data we have to determine our estimation for the population mean. The formulas we'll use are either T formula like that or Z formula like this. Okay, most of the times we will use T. We can use Z only if the standard deviation is known, and that is not usually the case. Very rarely would you know the value of sigma. So most of the time we'll be using the T distribution, and the confidence interval formula is x bar plus or minus the T value from the T table and S over square root of n. S over square root of n is also called the standard error, and the product T times S over square root of n is called the margin of error. So x bar minus margin of error is the lower limit, x bar plus margin of error is the upper limit. Okay, now we have the problem. We want to develop a 98% confidence interval for the average miles per gallon of all automobiles manufactured in these 5 countries. So we're talking about the miles per gallon. So the random variable of interest x is miles per gallon of the automobile. And nu sub x is the average MPG of all the automobiles manufactured in the population, which is manufactured in these 5 countries. And we know what those 5 countries are. N is the sample size. Sample size where n equal to 38. So we have 38 observations. Okay. Now to develop our confidence interval, we're going to run the data analysis command for miles per gallon. So go to data analysis. Now we're going to run a descriptive statistics. Now input range, okay, we're going to include the label also in the input range. So we have to start from N20 going all the way through the last observation. And since we have included the label also in the data, we have to check labels in first row. Then output options, okay, the output range, let us select B30 as our output range. Okay, then we're going to select summary statistics and confidence level for mean. So this is important. Confidence level for mean will give us the margin of error, and we want 98% confidence interval, so change that to 98%. Now click OK. Now we have the output. Okay, let's format the output a little bit. Okay. And let's leave the count as a whole number. Okay, now this is our margin of error. Okay. So 98% margin of error is that. Okay, remember, margin of error is T times S over square root of n. So lower limit is x bar. X bar is the mean here, minus the margin of error, and then the upper limit is x bar plus margin of error. So that is our confidence interval. So our interpretation here is we are 98% 99% confident that the average miles per gallon of all the automobiles manufactured in these 5 countries is between 22.2 and 27.3 miles. Okay. So now you see that the first line is overshot the box, so we can rearrange the text to stay within the box. Okay, and to do that, you highlight the entire box. Okay, highlight the box, and then under home you have fill and justify. If you click that, the text will get justified and everything will be nice and clean.